Hey crafters, it's Julie Creek from Creek Bank Creations, here to share with you today how to add a 6x12 page protector to the back of a page layout. We'll be talking about the scallop top die, which is a new die from Creek Bank Creations, and our slit die. Both dies were used on the layout today. The nice thing about the scallop die is that it cuts a full 12 inches. The slit die includes full 6 dies. These dies can be used for cards or for scrapbooking. The longest one are great for scrapbooking. Those are the dies that we're going to talk about today. And we're going to look at this 2-page layout. Now I've used the 7-inch long die from the Slit series to cut that slit in the top of that page protector, which gives us the ability to add a 6x12 page protector into the interior of our layout. I'm going to go over the details of that today and teach you how to make this great layout. So when we get started, we want to start with that plaid paper, which is our background. And the first thing we want to do is take that plaid paper and cut off the barcode. We don't need it for our layout today. So we're going to make sure that we have that plaid running the correct direction for the layout theme that we have. And we're going to make our first cut at 4.5 inches. The other side's going to be 7.5. So we have two pieces there, 4.5 and 7.5, which make up our 12-inch wide piece of paper. Now we're going to work with the one on the right first. It's 7.5 inches wide. We're going to fold that piece in half. And then we're going to take one part of that and fold it in half again. What we're doing is making the pocket so that we can have that page protector slide in the back of that layout. So we're going to lay the 7-inch slit die on that piece, and it's going to sit 1/4 of an inch in from the edge and 1 inch down from the top. And whenever I work with these dies, they're small. They want to wiggle around on you. I always tape them down with some washi tape. So we're going to tape those down and run it through your die cut machine. So we like to use Undo. It's an adhesive remover to take off our washi tape. It'll remove the tape without tearing off the face of the paper. So just saturate the washi tape with some Undo. Get it wet and pull it off. It'll dry clear and will not leave a residue. Now we're going to flatten that piece out, finger press the seams out of it so that we have a nice straight piece of paper, and we're going to turn that sheet over. Now we are offering chipboard in 1/4 inch wide strips by 12 inches. This is the perfect size for you to have the slide mechanism to work properly with the page protector. So you can purchase those from us online or in our booth. And what you're going to do is lay those strips up next to where that slit is and mark them with a dot, and then go back with your scissors, and where that notch, where that slot is going to come in contact with that chipboard, we're just going to trim it down. It's a little too tight, and we don't want anything catching on the page protector. So we're going to trim off those 2 spots where the slit is, and then we're going to put a thin line of tonic craft tacky on our strip and adhere that to our scrapbook page. We want a single, nice, solid line of glue, and we want to make sure there's glue on the entire strip so that it doesn't peel off and we have areas that have adhesive and don't have adhesive. So make sure you cover the whole strip. So we're going to do the right, and then we're going to flip it around and do the other side, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Now this glue is tonic craft tacky. Like I said, it's actually a PVA glue. It's a very good quality glue. I do like to add just a little bit of water into the bottle and shake it up, and I've got the large Scrap Perfect needle bottle head on that bottle. That bottle does not come with that head. That head is an add-on, but you can purchase it, and then if you take care of that, you'll be able to use it over and over when this bottle's empty, you can just reuse it. So we're going to work our way around the square here, rectangle here, and make sure that it's all adhered. And when we're done, we're going to do the piece on the left the exact same way. We want to make sure that our patterns match as we put our page together. So when we're ready to adhere these pieces to our scrapbook page, we want to make sure we have our pattern running the right way. and we're going to place that on our 12 by 12 paper and turn it over, and we're going to put a glue line right on the edge of that chipboard strip that we added to our layout. We'll work all the way around the page, and as you can see from the picture, I've already done this with the page on the left. It's done the exact same way. So we're going to work all the way around, and when I get down to the bottom down here, I am going to add a second piece of 1/4 inch chipboard. I decided that I should have an extra piece in there so that page protector doesn't sink all the way down into the layout. So right here you want to just stop, and I added another piece of chipboard at the bottom. That piece doesn't have to run all the way across, but it needs to run a good portion of the way across, just so that page protector has a stopping point. So we're just going to adhere that in, and then we want to make sure that all the chipboards got adhesive on it, because we're going to take that piece of cardstock and turn it over and adhere it to our base. So what I do is align the bottom edge up first, make sure it's sitting on straight, and then work my way around, pushing that down, make sure it's straight. The nice thing about the liquid glue is it gives us a few minutes. If something needs to be moved, we can. And then we don't have to worry about the page protector catching in adhesive, because once that's dry, it's going to be permanent, and we don't have to worry about the page protector catching in tape adhesive. So you want to make sure that's all stuck down very firm, nice and dry, and there we have our beautiful background with our slit, and our page protector will just slide right in and out of that slit, and there's the stopping point that shows you that that's stopping and it's hitting that chipboard piece on the inside. Now the reason we did the left and the right was because we needed that shim so they're even. So you're going to take your 12 by 6 by 12 page protector, and we need to trim off that edge that belongs in the binder or into the post. I like to put it in my paper trimmer and trim it off. We're also going to cut 1 inch off of the open side of the page protector. So very easy to cut in your paper cutter. And then we need to add some paper to that page. So what I like to do is put my page protector on my cutter and actually see the width of the page protector on the inside, because they're all different, and that'll tell you exactly where to cut it. Once you have that cut, you can slide that down into your page protector, and then remember, we cut 1 inch off the top, so we need to make a cut here at the top and cut that top off so that it's even. So there's our trim for that, and now we have the perfect addition to our layout, and we can add that to our scrapbook page. Now show you here how easy that is to slide right into your layout. There you go. Now we do have a tab die, and I do recommend adding a tab to the top of that page just so you have something to get a hold of and pull with. Now I want to talk to you about the scallop top die because it's used in this layout, and I want to go over some details with you. This die is actually almost 13 inches wide. You'll see there's a notch on the top corner, and that notch shows you where the 12 by 12 paper should be laying against that die. So when you look down on this paper, you should on this die, you should see any paper. That paper should be sitting on the notched edge of the die, and you can see here that you need to die cut on the extended platform, and that die will fit perfectly on the platform. When you're done, you're going to have 2 pieces, and there will be the full 12-inch cut, which is one of the unique features about this die. Now for this particular layout, I've cut 2 of those. I cut 2-inch strips and cut them on the 2-inch strips right on the edge, and then we're going to offset and layer them off by 1/4 inch. So layer one on top of the other, and then we're going to use that liquid adhesive and adhere the top to the bottom. And on our particular layout here that we're looking at for the Happy Birthday Girl, that's going to allow us to have that pink front with that nice striped background sticking out in the back, just to give that a little pop. So we're going to let that sit that together, layer it, and then now we have it's offset a little bit in the back because the paper's not even. So I put that back in the paper trimmer and trim that off, lining up those 2 straight edges with the straight edge of my paper trimmer, and trim that off. And we have this nice beautiful border that now we can sit right next to our plaid piece on our layout. Now we need to cover the page protector as well, because we've amended this page. We need to amend the page protector. So when your page is finished, you're going to slide your page down into the page protector, and you want to find either a dull pencil or an embossing stylus to do this. And you're just going to trace where that ditch is, where that slit is cut, and trace it onto your page protector. I'm using the Heartfelt Creations flower shaping tool here with the smallest head, and you'll see when you look at this picture that I've dented the front of the page protector, which now gives me a cut line to cut on. So you're going to take your scissors and cut very carefully on that line that you created in the page protector, and you'll notice I'm using small scissors to finish that out. Tendency with a craft knife is to have cut through both layers, so I always use the small scissors. So now we're going to slide our page back into the page protector, and you'll find when you do this, you'll have to kind of work that page protector in because you've got all kinds of stickers and things on that page. But once you get that in there, and you'll see me fighting it there, you'll see that that notch, the slit in your scrapbook page, matches your page protector perfectly, and you can slide your page protector, your page in and out of it. And you have just discovered the magic of adding a 6x12 to a 12x12. Thanks for joining us today.